A Wall Street hedge fund manager called out Warren Buffett and put $1 million on the line. And this is not clickbait. It is a 100% true story. While we can debate LeBron versus Jordan or Tiger versus Jack Nicklaus, these are endless debates that have no conclusion. When it comes to investing, though, there is no age limit. So we can test out and see who the GOAT really is, and that's exactly what happened here. My name's Ken Freeman. I'm a Rutgers Business School professor, CFA charter holder, and I have over 20 years experience on Wall Street. I train the top analysts at JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and BlackRock. So imagine you're crushing it. The proof is in the pudding. You have the results, you have the money and the receipts. And if you can beat the GOAT of investing, your status will skyrocket. You'll go down as the guy that took down Buffett. This is the type of story that you're going to be telling your grandchildren. And what if Buffett heard about this and picked up the phone and called and said one word, bet? So who's this finance bro that called out Warren Buffett and what actually happened? If you were to create the prototypical hedge fund manager, what would they be like? They would grow up in wealth and be surrounded by the world's best investors. They would go to the best schools, build a pedigree, and learn under the world's most successful investors. Guess what? That is exactly the description of the guy who took on Buffett. He grew up in Scarsdale, New York, which, by the way, is the wealthiest town in America. He went to Yale University, which is basically the breeding ground for the world's most successful investors ever. Don't believe me? Here's just a small list of the investors who graduated from Yale, and we're going to cover all areas of investing, shall we? Jeff Gundlach, multi-billionaire known as the Bond King. Fixed income is covered. Steve Schwarzman, founder of Blackstone. He basically created private equity. I highly recommend reading the book Kings of Capital, which profiles Steve Schwarzman's rise and the birth of private equity. Jim Rogers, co-founder of the Quantum Fund with multi-billionaire George Soros. The Quantum Fund is one of the best performing macro hedge funds of all time. They literally made $1 billion in one day by shorting the British pound. Sir John Templeton, creator of the Templeton Growth Fund, averaged 15% per year over 38 years. Jim Kanos, arguably the best short seller ever, he's the guy that called Enron. I think I made my point. After graduating, the challenger studied under David Swensen. David Swensen took the Yale endowment from $1.3 billion in 1985 to $31.2 billion in 2021. He's up there with Wall Street legends like John Bogle, Peter Lynch, and Ben Graham, who's Warren Buffett's mentor. So the guy who's taking on Buffett came from a pedigree and trained under the best. And for those of you who are not impressed with Yale, our guy got an MBA from Harvard Business School. I think we have all the bases covered. So that's the challenger. Impressive to say the least. I'm pretty sure we all know about Warren Buffett, but there's a few things that you need to know before heading into the bet. Buffett was coming out of his worst losing streak ever. From 2003 to 2005, Buffett lost to the S&P 500 3 years in a row. That had never happened before, and it's never happened since. Wall Street's calling him washed up and saying it's time to put away the calculator. Or maybe the challenger just woke up a sleeping giant. You see, Buffett has been here before. In 1999, when the tech boom was going full throttle, Buffett sat on the sidelines. After underperforming by almost 41% in 1999, 2000 saw Buffett at 26.6% and the market at negative 9.1%. The challenger had the pedigree, but Buffett had decades in the trenches through all kinds of markets. But Buffett had a trick up his sleeve. The challenger was convinced that his hedge fund strategies could throttle Buffett. The challenger was planning how he was going to crush Buffett's old, tired, large cap picks. The challenger was going to pick the best performing hedge funds from a funds of funds strategy. A fund of funds, as the name implies, is a fund that owns pieces of other hedge funds. While it seems like a no-brainer, it does come with 2 layers of fees. One layer is via the fund that invests in the hedge funds. The other layer is on the individual hedge funds themselves. Hedge funds charge 2 fees. First, one for assets under management. This is typically 1 to 2%. Second, a performance fee that captures about 20% of the upside. Since many hedge funds generate 20 to 40% returns, this didn't make the challenger flinch one bit. But here's where the curveball comes in. Instead of going against his own picks, Buffett decided to raise the stakes even more. Buffett was really busy running his $100 billion fund at Berkshire Hathaway, and he wanted to choose something that he didn't have to watch too closely. Buffett was going with the S&P 500 via a low-cost index. He was convinced that the hedge fund fees would kill performance. Upon hearing this, the challenger was licking his chops. This was going to be like taking candy from a baby. If this is changing how you invest, hit like and subscribe. It is how I bring these Wall Street insights to you every week for free. And there's 2 ways to go even deeper. Office hours get live streams before the public, and they get to ask questions live. Private office hours gets the financial model build every week for the next stock breakdown. Both links are in the description. So here was the bet. The challenger, Ted Sides of Protege Partners, would choose 5 hedge funds that were a fund of funds. Buffett was going with the sleepy, boring S&P 500 via Vanguard's S&P 500 Admiral Fund. The bet was $1 million. The time frame was 10 years. The start, January 1st, 2008. Not long after the wager started, the market tanked and Lehman Brothers filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The hedge funds were able to show off their strong suit, hedging. Buffett's index fund lost 37%, compared to the hedge fund's loss of 23.9%. Ted's bet was working, and now he was ready to push the pedal to the metal. 2009 proved to be challenging. The global financial crisis was in full swing, and the hedge funds were scrambling.
Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate. We're red everywhere, essentially, down by 4-5%.
We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%.
The stock market is now down 21%.
Buffett then beat the hedge funds every year from 2009 to 2014. But it took 4 years to pull ahead of the hedge funds in terms of cumulative return. In 2015, Buffett lagged the hedge fund rivals for the first time since 2008, gaining 1.4% versus Protege's 1.7%. But 2016 saw Buffett gain 11.9% to Protege's 0.9%. Another downturn could conceivably hand back the advantage to Protege, but that didn't happen. At the end of 2016, Buffett's index fund bet gained $854,000. This compared to just $220,000 for Protege's picks. In 2017, Sides conceded the bet knowing that the gap was too big to overcome. Sides looked back on his decision to take on Buffett. I really only took on the bet because I thought I would win. And I actually still think there are very good odds of winning that bet at the time. I still believe that. Ted explained that the S&P was trading at near historical highs at the inception of the wager. His belief was that subsequent returns wouldn't be very good. That would create market conditions that would benefit hedge funds. Sides felt that he had a strong chance of beating Buffett. According to Sides, the biggest headwinds that affected hedge funds in that decade were the Fed's zero interest rate policy. This hurt hedge funds more than other investment vehicles. Looking back, Ted realized that hedge funds had been hurt by low rates and competition, and there was more sophistication in the market. Buffett took a victory lap and donated his winnings to the Girls Club of Omaha. So what does this all mean for you? Stop trying to find the needle in the haystack. John Bogle said it best. Just buy the haystack. Buy the whole market and you own every company in it. If Apple wins, you win. If Nvidia wins, you win. If a new giant rises, you already own it. Today, there's one ticker that does this for you, VOO, Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF. It holds all 500 of those companies, the same list that Buffett bet on. It charges almost nothing, roughly 3 cents on every $100. Sleep easy at night and beat the hedge funds. As always, be relentless.